Let's start this episode with a joke. Man walks into a pub. He says to the barkeeper, "I'm going to celebrate. I just got accredited to ISO 14001. The barkeeper says, "You're certified." The man storms out of the pub in a rage. Well, maybe I shouldn't give up the environmental consultancy work anytime soon to become a stand-up comedian. But like all comedy, it tells us something about ourselves and our relationship with the world around us. So what is accreditation? What is certification? And how can we use these terms correctly? Let's take a look. Welcome to EMSmastery, where we look at the strategies and tactics to be successful in environmental management. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Andrew Marlowe. This episode looks at the difference between accreditation and certification, as these words are often used interchangeably, but they are distinct and different terms. So, as these terms, accreditation and certification, are used in relation to ISO international standards, a good place to look for their definition is in the recently published ISO IEC 17000-2020. This international standard is the conformity assessment standard for vocabulary and general principles. So in clause 7.7 it provides the definition for accreditation, which is third-party attestation related to a conformity assessment body conveying formal demonstration of its competence, impartiality and consistent operation in performing specific conformity assessment activities. A bit difficult to understand. Let's try inserting the full definitions for some of the supporting terms with their own clause numbers and definitions. So let's try it again. Issue of a statement based on a decision that fulfilment of specified requirements has been demonstrated related to a body that performs conformity assessment activities, excluding accreditation, conveying formal demonstration of its competence, impartiality and consistent operation in performing specific conformity assessment activities. Maybe I should summarise the formal definition of accreditation using my own shortening of the terms. 2. Recognition of a certification body based on a formal demonstration of its competence, impartiality and consistent operation in performing specific certification activities. So, with the definition of accreditation understood, or at least defined, let's now turn to the definition of certification. Clause 7.6, certification. Third-party attestation related to an object of conformity assessment with the exception of accreditation. And again, shall we add in the full definition for the supporting terms with their own clause numbers and definitions? Issue of a statement based on a decision that fulfilment of specified requirements has been demonstrated related to an object of entity to which specific requirements apply with the exception of accreditation. Then shall I summarise the formal definition of certification using my own short terms to make it a bit clearer? Issue of a certificate by a certification body based on its client meeting specific requirements. For example, ISO 14001-2015, but not accreditation. Now that we have a working definition for both accreditation and certification. So accreditation is the recognition of a certification body based on a formal demonstration of its competence, impartiality and consistently operating in performance of specific certification activities. Certification. Issue of a certificate by a certification body based on its client meeting specific requirements, such as ISO 14001-2015, but not accreditation. From these definitions, we can see the following. Certification is not accreditation. It results in the issue of a certificate, whereas accreditation appears to be a broader activity where recognition is involved and competence, impartiality and consistent operation is required. Indeed, it is important to reflect on the ISO international standards used for accreditation and certification. If you can visualise the relationship between the accreditation body, certification body and certified client, the accreditation body can be shown using ISO IEC 17021 Part 1 2015 as the basis for the assessment and recognition of certification bodies offering management system standards certification, such as ISO 14001 2015. Whereas certification bodies are required to meet the requirements of ISO IEC 17021 Part 1 2015. And if they can demonstrate conformity with these accreditation requirements, then they can have recognition as being accredited through an accreditation body. The relationship between the certification body and their clients is the use of management system standards such as ISO 14001 2015 as the basis of their external auditing of their clients. If their client can demonstrate conformity to management system standards requirements, then they can be recognised as certified. So if we circle back to the original humour or otherwise of the joke between the barman and the man who came in saying that he was accredited, let's summarise what is the correct use of the term certification. It is correct to say certification to ISO 14001 2015, ISO 14001 2015 certification, certified to ISO 14001 2015. In terms of accreditation, it is not correct to say accreditation to ISO 14001 2015. ISO 14001 2015 accreditation, or accredited to ISO 14001 2015. And finally, it is correct to say accredited certification to ISO 14001 2015, or UCAS accredited certification to ISO 14001 2015, or even certified to ISO 14001 2015 by a UCAS accredited certification body. So I hope that resolves the issue of using accreditation only when referring to a national accreditation body or the relationship that they have with their client certification bodies, and that it's not correct to use accreditation in relationship to certified clients to ISO 14001 2015. So you should never refer to your 14001 certification as being accreditation. Further information on accreditation and certification is given in the description box below, including links to the resources at the EMSmastery.com website. If this episode has helped to advance your understanding of the use of the terms accreditation and certification, please subscribe to this YouTube channel to ensure that you don't miss out on other episodes on environmental management and sustainability. Until then, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, you can watch other episodes by clicking on the boxes to the top and bottom right, and to subscribe to this channel, click on the link to the left. Thank you.